Welcome to the June edition of Northeast Journal. I'm your host, Joe Cullen. Coming up in the next half hour, we'll go behind the scenes of the City of Oakdale's Building Inspection and Code Enforcement Department. We'll get a preview of Marketfest in White Bear Lake, and we'll find out how a local nonprofit is giving animals a second chance. All that and more is straight ahead on Northeast Journal. Hello everyone and welcome to the June edition of Northeast Journal. I'm your host Joe Cullen. Every month on Northeast Journal we give you an inside look at the people and places that make up the northeast section of the Twin Cities. The Building Inspection and Code Enforcement Department is one of the most important parts of any of our city halls. We recently spent time with the department with the City of Oakdale to find out what they do. Take a look.
Hi, my name is Bill Schmidt. I'm with the City of Oakdale. I oversee the Protective Inspections Department. Under that, we issue building permits, rental license, and ordinance enforcement. I started in Oakdale in 1987. I've been here roughly 32 years.
The Building Inspection Department issues a variety of permits, reviews construction plans, and inspects construction for all building projects that occur in the city to ensure that safety standards are met.
I'm Cheryl Malgren, and I am the building inspector for the City of Oakdale, and I've been here for 15 years. We need building permits for new home construction, apartment buildings, we need it for townhouses, we need it for decks, we need it for additions, garages, homes. These are based on the Minnesota State Building Codes that we've adopted, and we follow these enforcements to keep people that live in these homes safe, give them a good environment, give them energy efficiency where we can.
The city's rental housing program began in 2002 and has been successful in ensuring that properties are maintained and that tenants have a safe environment to live in.
We license all rental units within the City of Oakdale. This would involve apartment complexes, single-family houses, duplexes, townhomes. They all require a license, and we provide them with an annual inspection. Some of the benefits of the rental housing program is it helps the renters. It provides the renters with a safe environment to live. We make sure there's locks on the windows, locks on the doors, the appliances, the utilities are all working and up to grade. They're paying for these services, they're paying to make sure everything's operational and it's a safe environment. It also helps the homeowners. We assist them in both looking at the property, helping them if they have problem tenants, making sure the property is well maintained, and surrounding neighborhood properties. It's a win situation for owners and renters and City of Oakdale because we end up with better neighborhoods. The rental housing program maintains property values for everyone in the neighborhood. Well-maintained property increases your property value, creates better neighborhoods which produce better schools and a community that you want to live and work in.
The Building Inspection Department also conducts ordinance enforcement in order to keep Oakdale a clean, safe, and inviting community. The department proactively seeks violations, as well as responds to resident complaints.
My name is Ken Mavison. I am the Code Enforcement Officer with the City of Oakdale, and I've worked here for the last 12 years. Some of the more common violations we deal with are like inoperable or expired vehicles on the property, trash or debris on the exterior of the property, a lot of property maintenance, whether it comes to the exterior of the house, could be a deck, a shed, a fence, something like that. Also recreational vehicles, whether it's the number they have, if they're expired as well, or where the placement is. We deal with a lot of homeowners that have violations that they're not able to take care of, it's not usually for a lack of want. It's either they don't have the ability or the means to. So we have some programs and loans through the city that we try to help them with and get them in touch with other companies and nonprofits that will help them with some of the work. And it all kind of ranges on what it is, whether it's an elderly couple that can't mow their grass. We have groups that will help mow their grass, whether it's a city loan that we can help to provide small loans to get repairs done. So there's different routes we can go to help property owners come into compliance ultimately.
Central to the success of the city's building inspection program is administrative support and top-notch customer service. Building inspection department staff members are always eager to help answer questions, address concerns, and help direct customers to the resources they need. Additionally, all building department forms and applications can be found on the city's website.
My name is Chao Zhang. I've been with the City of Oakdale for 6 years, and I am the building assistant. Our primary customers on a daily basis is we can get from residents to contractors. Residents can come in for questions such as how to build a house, questions as far as what they need to do in order to build something. Contractors will come in for permits, for plans, and anything that inquires as far as commercial and building. We are here in the building department to also assist with any questionings that may pertain to rental license, water utilities, streets, complaints, 好多的喏，俾零八到所零所度嘅，你摸住落去，好好俾啲實到嘅，落波多到路死里內，俾咪擺你到擺你。
Oakdale's building inspection team is proud to make the community a safer, more attractive, and inviting community for all citizens. A nonprofit, all-volunteer organization in White Bear Lake is giving cats and dogs a fresh start. Producer Mary Klein has a story on Second Chance Animal Rescue.
Do you know Down? Oh, I know Down, don't you? Yeah, that's a good girl.
I've always been a dog lover since I was a small child, and we've always had at least 2, sometimes 3 of our own, and then we started fostering almost 20 years ago now with Second Chance. Sophie came to us about 2 weeks ago. She was surrendered to a local animal control facility. Her owner's housing situation changed and she no longer could have an animal. So we picked up Sophie from the veterinary clinic where she had just had been spayed and had her shots updated and a thorough exam. And she's been a really easy dog to foster. She's housebroken, she's shy with strangers, but she warms up fairly quickly. She settled in within 12 hours or so. Jerky treats and little bits of rare roast beef are very helpful, but they have a sense that they're now in a safe place and are amazingly adaptable. It's really a way to give back, to the animal community, and another option besides making financial contributions, which are very important, but there's a real need for fosters who are willing to take animals into their home, do an assessment on them, work with them if there are behavioral issues, if they aren't housebroken, to help them get housebroken. And it's just another opportunity to work with dogs and to find them great homes.
Good girl, Sophie. Good job.
If you love dogs and you haven't fostered before, it's worth a try. It's very rewarding. Is it some amount of work? Absolutely. Anytime you're bringing an animal into your home that's new to the house, you need to be watchful of it until you know its personality. But it's very rewarding, and it's a nice way to give back and to make both the animal and the potential adoptive family very happy.
It's time for a short break. When we come back, we'll get a preview of Marketfest in White Bear Lake.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Welcome back to Northeast Journal. A longtime summer tradition in downtown White Bear Lake is Marketfest. This family-oriented festival brings people downtown in order to promote the city's businesses and enhance the sense of community. It runs every Thursday evening from June 13th through July 25th. With me today to talk about all things Marketfest is the event director, Lisa Beecroft. Lisa, I want to thank you so much for joining me again to talk about Marketfest. Seems like you were just here, but that's already been a year ago.
True. Well, thanks for having us back again. Look forward to summer, especially after a winter like this one. We are ready to celebrate.
Definitely, and I should add too, as well as Marketfest, we also have Manitou Days, which will be running June 13th through July 4th with a whole host of events. So you're also involved with that too.
Yeah, there's a lot of us that work on both. But Manitou Days it kicks off with Marketfest on June 13th, and then has 75 some events that follow in the 3 weeks, ending, of course, on the 4th of July with Marketfest, an ice cream social, and then fireworks down by the beach.
Yeah, so the difference would be Marketfest is just every Thursday evening.
Correct.
And those dates I listed, and kind of a family festival. There's obviously lots of food and activities,
Right.
Vendors, that type of thing, and then Manitou Days. There's just kind of a whole host of events throughout that June 13th through the July 4th. And I know I was just looking at this before. I mean, there's everything from golfing tournaments to water ski show and donuts with a cop, and pretty much every day there's something exciting going on for pretty much anybody.
I mean, and some of the big popular signature events, of course, are the Vintage Boat Show, the Medallion Hunt, which kicks off on the 13th with Marketfest. There's a beach dance, a grand parade with 100 float units. So, I mean, yeah, there's many, many things that people can enjoy. And a big part of that then is on the Thursday nights, Marketfest has the 2 live bands, 200 some vendors and entertainers in the area doing different things in the downtown White Bear area. So a lot of fun, always a good time, and it's our 29th year now that we're celebrating.
Oh, wow, that was going to be my next question. So be a kind of a big anniversary next year, but 29 years, and I know you have people that are involved with it that have been around since day one.
Yeah, we've probably 4 or 5 vendors who've been there all 29 years, so we will have to look to doing something special with them. Of course, if anyone's ever had the hamburgers, the French fries, or the lemonade, they've been around the entire time.
And I know it's always exciting, that combination of the certain things that people love that they look for every year, and then at the same time it's fun if there's something new too. So there's usually kind of that nice combination. I know, as you mentioned, those burgers. I assume you're talking about like Sean Smith, who's there every year. I know it's usually one of my first spots. People are lining up, the second that 6:30 kicks off to get their burger, and then but it's also fun to maybe try. So every year I always think I'm going to try a lot more new foods, but I always have to get that first.
I hate to pick favorites. I like to to give the love to all of the vendors. But the American Legion and their pork chops, I mean, those are one of my favorites every year.
Yeah, so. Pretty much, want to just make sure you come hungry, because there'll be
of course
plenty to sample. And as you mentioned, there's concerts, and I know we usually have one of our crews out there filming concerts on the, I think we're on the gazebo stage. And there's also acts elsewhere, and not only do you have the music, but there's usually people performing during intermission. And I know I've helped out with cameras at those concerts over the years, and I think I've seen everything from little kids doing gymnastics and the Lakeshore Radio Players Theater people, and just a little bit of everything there.
So yeah, we have a great lineup this year. On the gazebo stage, which is hosted by Kowalski's Markets, we have bands like Lamont Cranston, who's coming back. He's celebrating his 50th year of performing. We have Salsa de Sol is a new band that has really big popularity in the Twin Cities area. Just a lot of really good fun bands. Some are returning, others are new to the stage. 4th of July, we have Jake Nelson Band, who is a local award-winning artist from White Bear Lake. On the backstage, we have the 3rd Street Mitsubishi stage, and we tend to have a little smaller bands back there, but really fun independent music, some cover bands. Kind of Fonda Wanda is like one of the new ones that we have starting up. It's just a really good eclectic mix of music. And our website does have all of the biographies of the bands, so you can check it out and see what kind of genre of music you like. But yeah, we have community organizations like the White Bear Drumline and Orchestra performing, several theater groups that come out and do parts from their upcoming plays, dance groups, taekwondo demonstrations, I mean, you name it. There's even, I think, a high school rock band playing on the backstage one night. So, keeps it exciting.
Yeah,
Something to bring up, and of course, no admission to attend the concerts. Hey, you can bring all your food in, or you can buy food from the vendors and then take a seat and enjoy the music.
And people get into it, you always see people out there dancing, and like I said, some people are maybe enjoying the food that they bought, or just have the chair and just ready to park themselves there for a while. There's no shortage of things to do. One thing you obviously don't have control over is the weather, but it seems like overall most weeks,
we're going to go with that.
Yeah.
We're going to say that we've had enough rain and snow this year that we are going to have a great summer, and somebody owes us, so. Yes, and even on the nights where it's not sunny, I mean, sometimes the cloudier, cooler nights are quite fun because you can try different things and you're not so put out by the sun. But either way, people come rain or shine every week, so
Yeah.
It's a good time.
I should mention too, you have theme weeks too. Everything from, like you said, Manto Days preview, White Bear Lake History and Cakewalk on the 20th.
So popular.
The Business Runway on the 27th. I think you mentioned July 4th, Military Appreciation Day. July 11th, Biz Kids and Seniors. The 18th, Public Safety and Health Fair. And finally, July 25th, the Environmental Resource Expo.
Right, so we closed on 4th Street, of course, as a part of the Marketfest footprint. And on 4th Street, each week there are different themes, and those are the different activities you just listed off. The only one that's been added that wasn't on the list is AT&T on 4th Street on Independence Day is also going to be doing some special activities and have interactive displays. And then, of course, I mentioned it before, there is an ice cream social. We won Best Town in Minnesota in 2018 with Minnesota Monthly, and they are hosting an ice cream social for us. So after Marketfest, head down to the beach, and there's free ice cream until it's gone.
Certainly won't turn that away or turn that down of offered ice cream. And is there anything else that's kind of new and exciting this year that we should look out for?
A lot of the activities we have are the favorites that happen year over year. We have made some changes to sort of the back end operations to help make a better experience up front for our guests. Included with that is how we're working with our vendors and hiring vendors this year. We were actually able to make some adjustments, and we will have probably another 10 additional vendors. So just more variety of arts, crafts, foods, activities for the kids, nonprofit activities that they put on. Just always trying to look for ways to tweak things and make it a great experience.
And I know there's also the car show that's there every week too, and that's always, exciting to walk around and you see some. I'm not even that knowledgeable about that type of stuff, but I know some over the years, some familiar faces or familiar cars, but then you also get some new ones too.
Yeah, it's a great display of 50, 60 cars each week, so we're really thrilled that they come out and display their cars and have a great time, set up shop on the side. We do have a new display, our new food vendor, I should say, Lunds and Byerly's is going to be having a display with fresh roasted corn and brats and stuff. So, yeah, we're just trying a few new things and, of course, gearing up for that 30-year celebration next year as well.
Do you already have any ideas, for things, or are you
That's
still
gonna be
just
secret?
Secret? Okay,
Yeah,
I suppose
tell you
you're obviously thinking about that, but at the same time, you got to get through this summer before you get too carried away, I'm sure.
Yeah, we have a few things happening over the next 2 weeks, but after that, then we can settle in and enjoy the summer and then start looking ahead.
Sure, and I imagine, something of this scope, whether it's Marketfest or Manito Days, doesn't just come together at the last minute. This is something you and the board and everyone else the sponsors and everybody are working on
year-round.
Pretty much year-round, right?
Yes, I mean, it really gets busiest in January, February when we start hiring bands and reviewing, 200 plus vendor applications. But certainly publicity-wise, we're always maintaining the website, doing all of those kind of things, starting to talk to sponsors. So yeah, it's our year-round activity, but it's worth it.
I'm sure by now, you do have enough people that are really invested into it. And I know you even have volunteers, I believe, that help out on the nights of Marketfest.
Yeah, so a couple of great volunteers I want to give a shout out to. The Triad Senior Group, they work the information booths, and they are both ends of Washington Avenue. They're instrumental in helping guests navigate the event, and also I prepare lists for them so they can say, oh, you're looking for corn dogs? You can head over this way. So they help with all of that. The Boy Scouts in White Bear, and I'm going to forget their troop number, but they help us with the end of the night teardown every week, which is wonderful because we would be there till 11, 12 at night. We have to get everything torn down and cleaned up so that the farmer's market can come the next morning. So 2 groups that have been really wonderful to work with. And then, of course, the volunteers and staff. Frank and Dale are 2 guys that kind of run this show, and they bring on volunteers and staff to help us get through each night and make sure that we have the best experience for everyone. So.
I know you always have a presence there with, the White Bear Lake Police and Fire.
Oh, yes.
And, Fire Department often has that truck out there. And,
and there's the CERT group has first aid stations. We added a second station last year, midway through the year, and we'll continue to do that this year. So if somebody gets lost or somebody has a problem, there's 2 different check-in points that they can go to every night.
And I know from the past, some of our people here have even done stories on the law enforcement out there. I know for them it's a good opportunity to, visit with the public. And I mean, obviously they're there for safety too, but at the same time, for kids to get comfortable with them and that type of thing.
Not only are they there every night, but on that public safety and health fair night, they really go above and beyond the call of duty. And they set up all kinds of displays and demonstrations along 4th Street. And it's always fun, of course, the Jaws of Life car. They like to tear that apart, and always pulls a huge crowd. So, no, we really are grateful they come out each week.
And, what would you say have you learned, in your time doing this? I mean, it just seems like there's really such a sense of community in White Bear Lake when you just see the amount of people that are so passionate about these events every year.
Between the 2 events that I work with, I just can't believe the enthusiasm of our community and how much people come out to help out, but also to enjoy just all the people around, to mingle and to chat. I was talking with the White Bear School's communications director earlier today, and we're talking plans. She's like, "Oh yeah, we're going to try and make a space for kids to have a seat if they want to cool down or chill out with the school." So I mean, yeah, it's going above and beyond interacting with the community and your normal day-to-day operations, but looking for ways to partner outside of that as well. So yeah, Marketfest is a great meeting place. It really is.
And do you ever get to kind of step back and enjoy the evenings, or are you pretty much kind of always in motion?
I love people, so I get to talk to people all night. Whether I know them or not, I talk to everybody, and I have fun doing that, so it works for me.
Great. And if people want more information, especially about Marketfest, I think it's marketfest.org.
We have a new website, although the old website will reroute. So it's marketfestwbl.com now. So check it out. There's all kinds of new pictures and fun things going on, and we're still building that site as well, making it even better. So
and I know that has
check it out.
The list of, that's where I got this list of the themes, and if you want to check out more info on the bands and when they're playing, and then for Manitou Days, where can people get more info?
ManitouDays.com. All of the events, we just spent this last weekend putting everything online, so the events are there, and the sponsors have been updated. The volunteer of the year is Bill Weigel, so yeah, all that information is now there as well.
Perfect. Well,
so check it out.
Wish you the best luck. I know we'll be seeing you out there, and we'll just hope for some great weather for all the events, but I'm sure it'll be a blast like it always is. And I'm sure before we know it, you'll be back next year to talk about the 30th. So.
Yeah, there'll probably be some events in between then and now, but yes,
great.
I'll be back.
Appreciate your time and wish you the best of luck this summer.
Thank you. Thanks for having us out again.
You're welcome. Thank you. And it's time for another short break. When we come back on Northeast Journal, we'll bring you some sights and sounds from past Market Fests.
Drownings are a leading cause of death for young children. Make sure kids learn how to swim. Always watch them in and around water and properly fence all pools. Simple steps save lives. To learn some new ones, visit poolsafely.gov.
Welcome back to Northeast Journal. We just heard all about Marketfest at White Bear Lake. If you go, you'll be sure to see Sean Smith, who has been grilling burgers there since the very first edition of Marketfest. Here's a look at him in action.
A familiar face is wearing a different hat at Marketfest this year.
Don't be bashful. Don't be bashful.
Sean Smith is well known to Marketfest regulars for the scrumptious food he grills up every Thursday evening. He was a longtime owner of the Backdoor Deli and has now branched out to start a catering business with his son Stuart called Foodsmith Catering. Even with the changes in his professional life, Marketfest is a top priority for Sean.
I mean, we really enjoy it. I like the community aspect of it. I see people I don't see otherwise, and it's a lot of fun. $4. It's a lot of work. And you get dirty all the time. Out of 10.
Stuart has followed his dad into the culinary world. He also enjoys the rush of working at Marketfest weekly.
I mean, we really try to have a really good time with the customers specifically because we are right down in the, on the street with them instead of being up in a trailer, which is a lot easier. Don't get me wrong, trailers are great life. But being down on the ground, it's just, we can be involved and really get them involved in what we're doing. They have got to come to our grill to get their product. They got to get their buns from us. Instead of just handing it over a counter or handing it over a wall or railing or something, we really get involved. And we do have a good time with it.
Sean is known for his quick wit when working at Marketfest.
Yes, ma'am, they are really good.
Oh, it looks so good.
And good for you. Look what it's done for me.
Whoa! Do you come with the beer brought?
Now, stop that now. We put a lot of energy into it, and some of it is just the social aspect, and there's, that's just as hard sometimes as the physical work. Trying to keep up and trying to keep people smiling and stuff.
Besides a good joke, crowds come to the Foodsmith tables for the delicious food.
Primarily out here, we do our burgers. Nobody else has hamburgers like we do pretty much anywhere. We use a full half-pound burger, which really it's a whole lot of food. People, more times than not, they're like, oh my God, that's a burger. And I guess that's what keeps people, that's what draws people to us.
The half-pound Foodsmith burgers are a hit with Marketfest goers.
Awesome. Awesome. Best burgers down here.
What do you like about it?
They're big. They're awesome. They taste great.
Sean and Stuart also grill up hot dogs, brats, and brisket for Marketfest crowds too. As long as there's a Marketfest at White Bear Lake, look for Foodsmith to keep on grilling.
It's kind of like a little family we have going on out here. The staff we've had has been together for so long that it just kind of feels natural for us all to be out here together. And we do have a really good time.
As we learned earlier, there's plenty of great music to listen to every week at Marketfest. Here's a look back at some of our favorites from last year.
In that time I went and said goodbye, and now I'm begging, not ashamed to cry. Ooh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Oh yeah, here I am, baby. Oh, signed, sealed, you got my future in your hands.
Good times, these are the good times. Leave your cares behind. These are the good
That's all we have time for on this month's show. Thanks for tuning in, and join us again next month for another edition of Northeast Journal.